After the Anhui incident in 1941, the Kuomintang stopped allocating military pay to the CCP, and the CCP was in great financial distress. In March 1941, Mao Zedong decided to grow and sell opium in Yan'an Soviet area to tide over the crisis. In the lyrics of the familiar CCP's Red Song, Naniwan, what comes out of the flower basket is not the scent of rice but poppies, and what the Red Army's 359th Brigade grows is not grain, but poppies. The mass production campaign, for the sake of resisting the Japanese invasion, was in fact a campaign for planting, manufacturing and selling opium. Under Mao Zedong's instructions and requests, a consensus was quickly reached within the CCP that large-scale cultivation, manufacture and trafficking of opium in Yan'an Soviet area, the bureaus, counties, subordinate units, and regiments of the garrison in the area were tasked with opium production. For a while, the opium business was at its height. Wang Zhen's Red Army 359th Brigade, known as the Model, was the main force in growing and processing opium. By order of the CCP, opium was transported to the Kuomintang-controlled areas and sold at a high price. At that time, 500 grams of opium was worth more than 2.5 tons of millet. According to historical records, between 1941 and 1945, the income generated by the opium trade for the CCP solved most of the financial expenses of the CCP in the Yan'an Soviet area. In addition, the necessities of life, military industry, telecommunications, and medical equipment exchanged for opium from the Kuomintang-controlled area basically met the urgent needs of Yan'an Soviet area. In August 1944, Mao Zedong wrote the famous eulogy, "Serve the People," for Zhang Si'de of the 359th Red Army Brigade. However, according to historical sources, Zhang Si'de was actually an opium maker, who was killed alive by a collapsed tobacco kiln, while burning opium in Naniwan.